We're diving deep. You already know we're diving deep. So I have been fascinated with Piscean energy, as personally I have a lot of transits and activations within my 12th house, and also Jupiter, Neptune, Mars, and Chiron are all currently in the zodiac sign of Pisces when looking at sidereal astrology. And in order to come and to adequately express and put down this framework and outline, I had to phone a friend. I had to link and touch minds with the Honorable Carl Gustav Jung. Shout out to Carl Jung. And what I'm getting ready to say barely even touches the tip of the iceberg of all that Carl Gustav Jung contributed to the science and the study of the psyche. Oh, we getting real deep in the 12th house energy today. Now, I've heard from some of these astrological texts that the planet Mercury is at its detriment, when it's within the zodiac sign of Pisces. And thanks to touching minds with the Honorable Carl Gustav Jung, I now was able to get a broader perspective as to why this may be. You see, people of a Piscean nature, they gain their wisdom and their knowledge in a peculiar way to some from the outside looking in, who may not have as a signature, a Piscean signature. You see, we learn, I say we because, I'm a sidereal Pisces. I'm a tropical Aries. So I got the best of both worlds, baby. So I'm tapping into my Piscean mind right now. And I'm letting you know that we learn through stories, through fairy tales, through fables, through music, through movies, through anime, through mythology, through imagination, through dreams. Our dreams, I mean. That's how we gain a lot of knowledge and a lot of insight from things that people would consider and classify as fiction. Let me take y'all back to school for a minute. You remember how we had two categories of books? We had the nonfiction, which was supposed to be factual accounts of things that actually happened, that happened in reality, that could be confirmed in reality. And then we have fiction, which are stories like science fiction, fairy tales, fables, mythologies, things that may not have, quote unquote, necessarily took place in real life, but normally has some type of moral, normally has some type of character development, some type of plot development that can teach you so much about life and about interrelationships, about character development in a quote-unquote fantasy genre. When studying Carl Gustav Jung, we learned that our ancestors back in the day, we were an oral tradition. So a lot of knowledge and wisdom was passed down orally through the art of storytelling. Sometimes You could read a good book and learn so much on so many levels that you possibly couldn't pick up in a full year in school. Now I know I just got a lot of really airy-fairy, real dreamy, like what is this girl talking about? I'm saying that Pisces can pick up wisdom from what some people would classify as just children's fantasy. I remember once upon a time I was reading this book called The School of Good and Evil, right? And I was on the Camelot years. And I took it to work with me. I work in finance. So I took it to work with me, and my supervisor was like, what are you reading? And I showed him the book, The School of Good and Evil. This is like a children's fantasy novel. And I saw he looked at me with like judgment in his eyes, like giving me the side eye, like, what is this girl reading? Not knowing that book, The School of Good and Evil, just using an example, I was a little bit ashamed showing him because I felt like he was looking down on me and judging me because I was reading such a thing as a grown woman working in finance. But I learned polarity. The School of Good and Evil is like a book that really helped me to grasp the concept of the law of polarity. Real talk. And that book helped to define it way clearer than any of these occult teachers, these so-called gurus. I read a children's book and gained so much insight into the law of polarity. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. All right, come back and do a part 2. Signing in, out, above, beyond, below, beneath, underground, all around, uptown, downtown, midtown, here, there, anywhere, everywhere, nowhere, past, present, future, now. Tap into your imagination. Tap into your subconscious. Tap into your dreams. Tap into whatever lights your fire and your imagination, because you can learn so much from what other people would probably classify as fiction. Out.